All right, guys. Well, we're weeks away from the draft, and boy, there's going to be a lot of draft talk this year with nothing else going on. Likely the most interesting debate of the draft this year focuses on two quarterbacks: LSU's Joe Burrow and Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa. Burrow is fresh off his all-everything season, winning a dump truck full of awards and scorching every team LSU faced en route to their perfect season in a national championship. But Tua was winning national championships and tearing up SEC defenses when Joe Burrow was still jumping around the transfer portal, and many had Tua atop their board before his hip injury this year. Burrow remains a consensus number one, but Tua's healing and getting stronger every day. So, Drink, is Joe Burrow locked in as the top pick, or should the Bengals look at Tua instead?
Well, when I think of that question in two different ways. The first part of the question is Joe Burrow locked in as a top pick? I think at this point he is locked in as a top pick. The one thing that they say that you cannot bounce back from when you're a prospect jumping to the next level, being from college to pros, is injuries. You can go out there and beat your wife. You can go out there and commit murder. You can go out here. You can do a whole lot of things to get to the NFL. But if you get hurt, hold up, wait, hey, stop the presses. Because the best ability is availability. And we ain't got time for you to be coming in here all gimpy. We need to make some money. So if you pull an Aaron Hernandez, that's your problem. I don't care about that. Hey, you're innocent until proven guilty. Come on out here and catch some passes for us. But, if you hurt, you can't get the job done, especially as a quarterback. Let's be real. The bar for a quarterback is a lot more different, a lot more higher than any other player that plays on that field. I'm sorry. A quarterback is what you call a leadership position, right? You got the owner, the GM, the head coach, and then the quarterback. That's how the chain of command usually go on most teams. Now, you got to select few, and that's why those select few are down at the dumps. Now, the second part of that question, when we talk about should the Bengals take Tua instead, if you're asking me, and I'm the GM, yes, I definitely think they should take Tua. I have a problem with one-hit wonders. That's my thing. I have a problem with one-hit wonders, and especially when you're comparing them to guys that have been showing this with longevity. Yes, I understand that Tua has, he has had this hip injury that's similar to what Bo Jackson had. But one day Bo Jackson was up running the football, the next day his career was over. I got that. Very significant injury. But in today's technology, in the world of medicine now, they have figured out a way for him to bounce back from said injury and perform at, if not better, than he was performing before he got hurt. Now, coronavirus have made this hard for most GMs. I got it. I can't blame a GM if I'm not allowed to watch you work out, if I'm not allowed to actually evaluate you with my own eyes as a scout, if I'm not allowed to talk to you about the process. It's hard for me to be like, you know what? I'm just going to have to take that YouTube video I seen for its face value, and we're going to roll the dice because he looked real good in them drills. And then when that other guy walked in and say, so did Ben Simmons. Now you like, yeah, you got a point on that one. So I'm not mad at a GM, or I don't, you look down on the GM if they're having that type of problem. But if you're going to tell me, oh, well, Joe Burrow was just a better quarterback prospect. Why? Because of 1 year? You better roll that beautiful beam footage. You better go look at what Tua was doing as a true freshman, coming in there, putting the team on his back, won a national championship. You better go look what he did in his second year. Yes, he got hurt, but when he came back, he got it done. His injuries is the only reason, like I was talking to Jay about this. If the Cincinnati Bengals GM or the owner, they came out, held a press conference, and was like, all right, listen, we're going to cut out all the chatter. We're going to get straight to the point. We're going to take Joe Burrow over Tua because, listen, Tua stay hurt too much. We ain't got time for the injuries. I would be perfectly fine with that. I would not be mad at the Cincinnati Bengals for coming out, giving us the raw, uncut, we ain't got time for it. You know why? Because I'm smart enough to know, I've been watching this game long enough to know that injuries play a big part. It plays a bigger part than most players' character do. Like, you cannot have an injury history, a long one at that. And you definitely cannot be a quarterback. But as a prospect, Don't nobody put it on the money like Tua. I mean, the product speaks for itself. He should have won the Heisman, not last year, but 2 years ago. But he got that took from under him by Kyler Murray. Yeah, this guy has shown he's been in college for 3 years. This is what I would tell people. You take all Joe Burrow, because he played at 2 colleges, take his collegiate stats, roll them puppies up, and roll them out. And then take Tua collegiate stats, roll them puppies up, and roll them out. And I'm going to tell you this. Don't give him the bull crap about where he played at Alabama. Oh, he got athletes everywhere. Because LSU ain't got no athletes, right? Ohio State ain't got no athletes, right? Come on. That excuse that's worn out. I don't want to hear that bull crap. Oh, by the way, he was at Ohio State, and he couldn't beat out Dwayne Haskins. So he couldn't beat out Dwayne Haskins, the same Dwayne Haskins that went in the first round last year, and we still trying to figure out what's going on with him now. You know, the Washington kind of flailing him around. But all of a sudden, you're going to tell me this dude is the best thing since sliced bread? I think we underselling Joe Brady on this one. I really do. I think we underselling Joe Brady a lot. I think we're going to find out a lot about him. But however, if you want to take him because he's injury-free, no problem. That's one thing Joe Burrow got the check in the box over Tua, hands down. He did not occur a significant injury this year, and he didn't do it last year. He just was so bad, nobody cared last year because, you know, they lost to a team by the name of Troy. But, you know, ain't nobody talking about that. You know, little small school, you know. My city bigger than that school. But either way, they lost to that team with him at the helm. Nobody talking about that. And now you want to sell to me that this guy is just so above beyond. He's a lock-in. I don't think he'll lock in. I really don't think he'll lock in. But if I'm Cincinnati and I'm playing it safe, it's like playing the stock market. Do I want to take the risk or do I want to take the safe stock? The safe stock is Joe Burrow. But if I get a little risky, I want to put a little razzle-dazzle in my life, then I can go with Tua, and I might make more money when this hit, rather than going with the safe, plain rice with no seasoning stock over here, Joe Burrow. So you tell me, but my answer to that is I think Joe Burrow will be a lot because of his injury history. But I think Tua should be the #1 overall draft pick this year.
Yeah, I'm fairly with you on this one. You know this as well as I do. The Bengals they're gonna take Joe Burrow for a multitude of reasons. One of them, he's an Ohio kid. Yeah. Two, there's a little bit of recency bias here. You're the recent Heisman Trophy winner. You're the recent national champion. You just had the 60 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You know, just a wonderful fairy tale ride. It's almost shed a tear watching them, Ed Orgeron chewing up rocks and everything. It's a beautiful thing. But hey, listen, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati here for just a quick minute, because Cincinnati, think about them through the years. This is a team that's never won a Super Bowl championship. This is a team that stuck with Marvin Lewis for 15, 16 years, and just they couldn't bear to let him go because they just, for whatever reason. Cincinnati's ownership and GM, if they got one, Zach Taylor, they don't have the guts to take Tua. They're a safe organization. They're traditionally cheap in free agency, although they spending money like it's going out of style here lately on the likes of DJ Reader, open up a book and read it, and Trey Waynes, all these guys. And we're just wondering what's going on here. And you got people in the media saying, "Oh yeah, Cincinnati out here making moves." Are they really? I don't see it. You're gonna have to show me something. I mean, I don't think Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and all these boys, not to mention Joe Brady, they're not coming with him. And you can say the same thing about Tua, he's had a remarkable supporting cast in his own right. That's the nature of playing at Alabama and LSU. But your point is spot on about, and I'm the same way. I like seeing multiple seasons of excellence. Outside of last year, this is one season that we've seen Joe Burrow be outstanding. Tua's been outstanding outside of injury. When he is on the field, he is outstanding. From the very first moment he set foot on the field, and outside of mop-up duty for Jalen Hurts in that season. But when the lights were brightest, when his team was in a hole, when Nick came in at halftime and said, "Hey, Tua, go in there and help us out," Tua led him back in the national championship game as a true freshman. That happened. And then in his subsequent seasons, 2018, 2019, 76 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Just remarkable. Unlike anything Alabama has ever seen at the quarterback position. To the degree that Alabama, and I don't know if this was in the subconscious, but it seems like they were so comfortable and in awe of Tua throwing the football that they got away from how the other things they've been great at for years, playing defense and running the football to some extent, which got them in a little bit of trouble the past couple of years.
But maybe running the football, the defense was just right. They took a couple of seasons off, but running the football, you're right.
Hey, neither here nor there, like you like to say. But listen, Cincinnati doesn't have the guts to make this choice because Tua comes with some risk. And they are a safe organization. That's why they don't win anything. It's just the truth. I mean, let me ask you this. Joel Embiid, to caveat what you said about Ben Simmons, we'll bring his boy into the fray, Joel Embiid. He carries some inherent risk coming into the NBA. He was a top overall talent, slipped to the 3rd pick because of injuries. But we see him today, and there's still injury risk with Joel Embiid, but I've been on the record saying, I'll say it again, this is a top 5 NBA talent. That's just one of the things that you have to look at. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think a even closer one would be Steph Curry. That same thing happened with Steph Curry. That's why a lot of teams passed him up because his ankle injury, and now he's the best shooter in NBA history.
That's right. And MVPs and championships and all that. And I'm going to say this. If you don't have the Tua is still a top draft prospect. I mean, it's not like these injuries or have him down late 2nd round or something like this. Most mock drafts have him going to the Dolphins at the 5th overall pick. And oh, by the way, recently there's been speculation that the Redskins would take him right after the Bengals take Joe Burrow. So if he's in the conversation up that high, I mean, he should be in a conversation for the 1st overall pick. I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And let's be honest. The only reason the Redskins aren't taking him, which you can tell me different if you believe so, the Redskins aren't going to take him because they just took Haskins, and they're not going to move off him that quickly. But again, if there is even chatter that Tua's could be taken 2nd overall, there should be chatter that he could be taken 1st overall. But Cincinnati doesn't have the guts to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little disappointing here because I've got to lean just a hair towards Burrow, guys. Man, y'all make really – I mean, you're making great points. Really are. My biggest thing with Joe Burrow, I cannot, with what I saw and how many LSU games I watched, I cannot convince myself that was just a one-hit wonder, lightning in a bottle. The body of work he put together this season is incredible. I mean, this wasn't just, oh yeah, Joe had a couple nice games and they won. But as a collective group, these guys wound up winning. No, Joe Burrow was just throwing. What'd you call it? Throwing pineapples, just pineapple after pineapple, just over and over. They beat number 7, number 9, number 7, number 2, number 4, number 4, number 3, that. It's amazing.
Hold on, But here's my problem with that. Okay, give me that now. But give me that significant team he beat in 2018.
Well, he didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So that is the definition of one-hit wonder. If you cannot give me the team he beat in 18 or 17. Oh, by the way, he was a 5th-year senior, so we can go even farther than that if I wanted to. But you give me one season. Give me something outside of that one season, and I'll knock it off.
Right, and that's fine. I just personally, when I watched him play this past season, man, you just see everything that the modern NFL they want. You got the big body, you've got just enough speed to get out of trouble sometimes, but you're not a guy that's gonna be running all the time. But he had some escape artist Houdini crap.
I agree.
A couple games.
I agree.
And then I remember there was specifically a play against Georgia where he escaped the pocket, did some Johnny Manziel looking crap, ran around, and then threw off his back foot a perfect pass. I mean, he dropped it right in. And just the fact that body of work, he was always playing really, I mean, not every week, but there was more than half that schedule was very high quality teams. He just, every time, no matter how bright those lights got, man, he was just there, calm, cool, just did what he had to do. I would say in terms of pure technical football, I think Tua probably throws a bit better ball than he does. I think Tua could probably make a few throws that Burrow might not be able to put dead in the center every time. But I think the biggest thing is, like you said, the injuries, but then you compound that with this draft not being able to fully evaluate a player. I think you're absolutely right that Cincinnati is going to take Burrow, but I wouldn't be disappointed with either quarterback. I mean, let's keep it on that. I mean, I would absolutely be ecstatic with either guy if I was Cincinnati. But I think for me, just what Burrow did when the lights were brightest and when he was playing the competition he did, I would have to lean towards him over Tua. Barely. I mean, just barely.
And let me remind people of this, because this is what I hear a lot. Yo, Joe Burrow took LSU down there in the place they ain't beat Alabama in 8 years, and he took it to him. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, he did play well. He did his thing against the defense, but Tua also did his thing with one ankle. So at the end of the day, you can sit here and hit me with the injury bug, but Tua played through an injury real quick. That's Oklahoma.
That's a great point.
That's Oklahoma. He put it on him with one ankle. He put it on LSU with one ankle. You get away from the interception and that phantom fumble, which we still trying to figure out what happened. Unsolved mystery. And he had a well of a game if you look that up. So it's very rarely have you seen a game outside of, I would say, the SEC championship game versus Georgia. That was the one game I thought to myself, this is a bad game from Tua. Because even in the national championship game, the offense was driving. They just couldn't finish it for whatever reason. They couldn't punch it in. But Tua was playing. It was what it was. But I'm tired of people hitting me with the this season, record breaking. Mr. Biscuit had a good season. Tell me how that turned out. It's just so many guys that hit the one-hit wonder. Dwayne Haskins is another one. One-hit wonder. Tell me how Washington feel about that. They thinking about coming to get Tua. So it's something to be said when you play high-level football for more than 1 year. And I think people are overlooking that because they're scared of his hip.
Yeah, and just to in Cody's defense, when you talk about the one-hit wonder point, there's two sides to that. Number one, and I agree with you on the point that I want to see more. I want to see consecutive seasons where you repeat your level of play. But if there was ever a time to fall back on a one-hit wonder, it is this one, because we ain't never seen nothing like this. This is smash hit, top of the charts, forget about it, 60-6. I mean, you can't be mad at them if they take them.